Hello guys, how's it going? Welcome to Lightworker Niku. So today we're gonna be talking about the important topic of homelessness, and it's really important, close to my heart, and it got inspired because I was in Little Tokyo today, and I like to familiarize myself with different culture and just go with me and my partner, just like explore like new things. Even beforehand, I would just go and deal with fears and explore new things, and I really like to bring our community back together, depending on where you're from or what kind of like different background you come from, because we may be like different from the physical aspect, but in the root we are actually one. We're the same. From the soul aspect, from the mind aspect, we're all connected, and it's exactly the same. We're all dealing with the same exact like fears and collective consciousness of the emotional emotional experience that the human being goes through. So that's a different topic that we will get through at a later time. That is cool, guys. I thought to show you guys. But anyhow, what I wanted to talk about today is it's the importance of like homelessness, and why I want to talk to you guys about homelessness, because we're seeing it more than ever, like people being out in the street and we're just passing by them, and we're not really including them as a community. Not only we are not including them as a community, what bothers me is that people just passes by them and they start cursing at them or looking at them like very angrily, or making them feel like they're not worded or not valuable part of our member of our community, and that really hurts. And I try to speak up with them or defend them, but I feel like I'm the only one, or it feels like I am the only one who seems to care for this issue. At the same time, I know I'm not the only one, and I feel that maybe people feels that, oh, there's too many of them and it's the government responsibility and what really they can do. I feel like we can do a lot, and first step is for us to recognize that homeless people are just the same as us people. They're just human like us. Just because the system has brainwashed us to believe that money is what speaks. Money, if you have a lot of money, is it's your values basically depends on money, or your worthiness is only require or depends on how much money you have. It's time for us to start becoming aware that your existence has nothing to do with how much money you have. It has nothing to do with what color, what background you came from, and it start to adapt more new winning perspective, that recognizing that we're all human and that we are all deserve to live in this planet Earth. The fact that you exist in the planet Earth, you are lovable and you are enough. Let's just let go of this narrative or perspective that you have to do something in order for you to be enough. No, you don't. You don't have to. The fact that you exist in this planet Earth, you are worthy and you are lovable, and I love you and I appreciate you for who you are, and I want more people to start to become more aware of their judgment they're sending to a homeless person or to each other as being, and start to be more kinder, more compassionate, have some empathy. We don't know which each human being, what walks they have walked, and I don't really feel like many homeless people, I don't really believe that they can't become homeless because of drugs. Many of them actually tend to become homeless because, many of them tend to be in drugs because the fact that they're homeless, because people treat them brutally and worthless and not human. Like they're so invisible, and obviously they would have a harder time to recover. And it's time for us to become aware that us human being, with our judgment, with our energy, is we're limiting other people's healing process. And not that it's you guys' fault, or I'm not coming from blame. I'm just coming from awareness, okay? Even we're limiting ourselves with having like negative judgment about ourselves. You keep thinking that if we give anxiety to ourselves, or if we be judgmental towards ourselves, we're being productive. No, you actually, I've experimented with this. You actually will be more productive if you're talking to yourself more kindly, with love, with appreciation, and you motivate yourself to do more greater things. When we are talking the other way to ourselves, the energy is like you suddenly become depressed, you become anxious if you keep on being too high critical about yourself. And I know that it's not our fault, it's the previous generations, it's not nobody's fault, it's just it was passed on to us. And it's time for us, through these videos that I'm sharing, to become aware of these quote-unquote limiting mindset and start to see it as it is, just a mindset, and choose a new mindset that will serve you and everybody else. So I feel like becoming more compassionate human being towards yourself and everybody else, it just makes our world more beautiful. It helps us to really talk with one another like human-like, and allows us to upgrade from those mindsets and perspectives of white is superior or black is not. It just hurts my heart that we're still are dealing with the same racist issue, or same like homelessness issue about financials, or having to give, I guess, humans worth and equivalent it into the dollar sign money. Like, what is happening? That way of thinking, it's very dangerous. And with even robots are coming, and if we're not aware of it, before you know it, all of you guys' life will be in danger. And I truly care about human experience and humanity as a world, as a whole. And I want us to become aware of how much power we have, and how much potential we have as a community to start to become aware of our power, our mindset, our narrative that we are choosing to take on, and recognize that we have a choice. We're not limited just because my neighbor next door is thinking that way. For example, it's doggy dog world. That doesn't mean that I should choose the same narrative, or we can educate one another of what these narratives are really doing to our world. And it's time for us to take responsibility for our creations and choose a more winning perspective. What's winning for me and you and everybody around us. And let's come together as a community to solve homelessness, versus we just throw it as government, and we just say all blame towards like homelessness, and keep on saying homeless people are like so disgusting and blah blah blah. That may be true from one perspective. From the other perspective is like we haven't really recognized like homeless people are human like us, and some people are trying to frame them as if like they're creating trash, for example, in the street, but that's not true. I talk with many homeless people, I help them as best as I can, and I feel, and I am just a community member, I'm not part of any organization. I feel like having people to start to thinking that we can share our foods with them, we can just say hi to them, we can just recognize them as a part of the community member, will help them to, even on their healing journey, to start to see themselves they're worthy, and they don't need to like be homeless anymore. I feel like giving them resources, giving them chances, they can upgrade themselves as well too, versus if we see them as they're invisible, right? I'm not saying just go and hug them or something like that. You can if you want to. Like, I hug them, I count them like a human being, and I feel like everybody's a human being and everybody deserves to have the respect. And I don't really give people the respect just because you have money. That feels, excuse my language, a bit shitty. And I feel like we're all human beings, and I feel like, I hope this video helps you to reflect on how you're showing up in our world and how you're choosing to show up moving forward. And I hope that you start to be a little bit kinder to people around you and yourself, and also homeless people, and I'm gonna stop saying homeless people because I feel like they're also people like us. Just because they're going through a temporary transitions and things been difficult financially for everybody, and that doesn't mean we should be mean and rude and oblivious to them and not count them. I hope that our community start to become aware that we don't need to operate from the old narratives of is a dog-eat-dog world, or homeless people doesn't deserve to be treated as a human being because of the fact that they don't have money, or white people are superior and black people are not. And to just, excuse me, just because like how, I don't think like a cow goes and say, oh, because you're a black and white cow, I'm not going to be with you, or the brown and white cow and you're not deserved to be having the grass. Like, who does that? Come on, we're better than this, and let's choose more better or more winning narratives that will serve us. Let's be more compassionate. Let's say like we are human beings, we can be kind, or I am kind person and I choose kindness, or I'm a loving person and I attract more loving people. Let's start really creating more positive, instead of taking beliefs like, oh, I don't trust anybody and people are untrustworthy, where it takes you automatically to avoid people or be afraid of them, to start to choose love. Oh, it's two perspectives are true. It's two sides of the coin is true. I could say people are loving, or I could say people are horrible. And whichever you choose to take as a narrative, then you're gonna attract that. So if you say people are horrible, congratulations, we're creating more horrible people. But if you say people are loving and I attract more loving people, that's what you gotta create, I promise. It's all about what you grow in your mind. I think it's time for us to become aware that each and every one of us are creating. Each and every one of us have the power. We have a genie like our mind, and it's creating constantly. And it's time for us to take responsibility of that creation. So I hope my video inspires you to choose kindness, compassion, empathy, and we're gonna dive more deeper about the power of mind, and I'm gonna teach you guys in how you can use these tools in your advantage to build a more loving, joyous world with me. So I appreciate the work. Thank you for listening to me. I value your time, and I value you being here with me. With love and light, take good care. Bye-bye.